In the courts of princes and the chaos of markets, the most dangerous weapon is not the sword, nor the coin, but the mind that commands both. I am Niccolò Machiavelli, and today, I shall teach you how to forge a mind so unyielding, so precise, that it unsettles the hearts of even your allies. You believe strength lies in muscle or money. No, the greatest problem is that most minds are fragile, easily swayed, easily broken. This fragility leaves you at the mercy of others. Today, we shall solve this. I will show you how to build a mind so strong it terrifies people. Not through violence, but through the ruthless architecture of thought. Understand this, my listener. The world does not see you as you are. It sees you as you appear, and in the game of power, appearance is not a mask. It is the very armor that shields you, and the sword that cuts your enemies. Most men walk about unaware of the image they project, allowing chance and the opinions of others to shape their reputation. This is the path of the weak. The one who rules with his mind bends perception to his will, until others see not the truth of his being, but the truth he has chosen for them to believe. When you step into a room, the battle has already begun. Your presence is a silent declaration of who you are, and those who observe you will assign meaning to every gesture, every glance, every pause between your words. If you leave this to accident, you will be judged as common. But if you control it, if you design every movement as a craftsman shapes marble, then you will seem more than mortal. The mind so strong that it terrifies others does not wait for recognition, it manufactures awe. You must learn to cultivate an aura of inevitability, as though you are a man whose victories are a matter of destiny, not chance. Speak with the certainty of one who already possesses the outcome he seeks. People bow before confidence when it is absolute, because it denies them the comfort of doubting you. Your enemies may hate you, but they will also watch you closely, fearing to misjudge your strength. Your allies will follow, believing that your mind is a compass that never falters. Perception is also the art of selective display. You need not reveal every facet of your intelligence, only enough to suggest that there is always more beneath the surface. The most dangerous illusion is that of bottomless depth. Let others suspect that you are always holding back, that your true thoughts are too sharp for casual company. This will make them measure every word they speak in your presence, fearing that a careless remark might become a noose they tie around their own neck. Learn also the power of controlled contradiction. Let them see you as patient, but capable of sudden and decisive action. Let them know you as courteous, but also capable of cruelty when the moment demands. This duality unsettles them, for they will never be certain which face you will turn toward them. In uncertainty lies control. In predictability lies weakness. A mind that terrifies is never fully mapped. It is a labyrinth in which the observer loses his way. Your appearance in public matters as much as your performance in private. A disordered man inspires no fear. A disheveled presence suggests a disheveled mind. Dress not merely to please the eye, but to communicate dominance and control. Your words may be subtle, but your image must be unmistakable. A ruler whose garments speak of authority often commands before he utters a single sentence. And when you speak, do so in a manner that suggests you have already weighed every word in the balance of power and found it perfect. Beware of over-familiarity. The man who is too easily known is too easily dismissed. Keep yourself at a slight distance, even from those who profess loyalty. Mystery is a slow poison. It seeps into the thoughts of others and turns admiration into reverence, reverence into fear. When they cannot predict you, they will overestimate you. And when they overestimate you, they will act with caution, giving you the advantage before any open conflict begins. Perception is not merely about what others see. It is about what they believe they see. Let a small act of competence be exaggerated in their minds until they think you capable of the impossible. Do not correct their exaggerations, feed them subtly. If they think you a master strategist, do not deny it. If they think you have friends in high places, allow the rumor to live. The wise man does not chase truth in the court of power. He chases influence, and influence grows from belief. Even your silences must be crafted. When you remain quiet in the midst of chatter, the weak will assume you have nothing to say. The strong will suspect you have much, and that it is dangerous. The second perception is the one you must encourage. Let them fear what you might say as much as what you actually do. Silence becomes a weapon when those around you imagine that it hides a blade. The greatest masters of perception understand that fear and respect are born from the same seed, the belief that you are not to be trifled with. You will not need to shout. You will not need to threaten. Your reputation will speak in every room you enter. And this reputation, carefully cultivated, will bend even the proudest necks, for they will feel that opposing you is to oppose inevitability itself. Perception is the armor of the mind. Then discipline over your emotions is the unshakable foundation upon which that armor rests. A man who is a slave to his feelings is a man whose enemies already hold the keys to his defeat. They need only press the right nerve, whisper the right insult, or tempt him with the right promise, and he will undo himself. But the man whose emotions are his servants, not his masters, is like a fortress that no siege can breach. You must begin by understanding that in the arena of power, your reactions are not private, they are a performance. Every flicker of anger, every smile, every sigh of frustration is observed, interpreted, and stored away for future use by those who would see you fall. If they know what stirs you, they know how to pull your strings. The strong mind is not without feeling. It simply refuses to display those feelings without calculation. You may feel the fire of rage or the chill of fear, but no one outside your inner circle must be allowed to see it. Consider the rulers of history who were feared not because they were loud, but because they were unreadable. Their enemies stood before them, uncertain whether their call meant mercy or destruction. That uncertainty is a weapon. When you remain composed while others lose themselves to passion, you are no longer playing the same game. You are writing the rules they must follow. Discipline over emotion begins with self-awareness. You must know your own weaknesses as a general knows the weak points of his fortress walls. If flattery pleases you too easily, you are already in danger. If insults cut you deeply, your enemies have found an opening. If the promise of wealth or pleasure makes your heart race, then someone will use that to lead you into a trap. To command your mind, you must recognize these impulses and bind them before they act against you. This does not mean becoming cold as stone. Rather, you must choose when and how to display emotion so that it serves your purpose. A well-timed flash of anger can frighten an opponent into retreat. A rare smile can secure the loyalty of a valuable ally. But these moments must be crafted, not spontaneous. Your emotions must be tools you wield, not storms that seize you without warning. Learn to take the insults of others as though they are nothing more than the buzzing of flies. If an enemy strikes at your pride and you respond in fury, you reveal that pride is your weakness. But if you meet insult with a calm and measured expression, you force your attacker into uncertainty. They will wonder if you did not hear, or if you have already planned a response so devastating that you can afford to wait. That doubt will do more to unsettle them than any outburst. There will be moments when your blood will demand action, when betrayal burns your heart or opportunity excites your ambition. In these moments, you must remember that the first reaction is rarely the strongest. Delay, even for a heartbeat, can transform a rash decision into a calculated strike. Many have lost kingdoms because they moved too quickly under the sway of emotion. Few have lost them by waiting long enough to see the whole board. Your discipline must extend even to joy and triumph. Celebrate too openly, and you invite envy. Show too much eagerness for a prize, and others will raise its cost. The wise conceal their desires until the moment they claim them, and even then, they accept them as though it were only natural. This keeps others guessing whether they have pleased you or merely fulfilled your expectation. The greatest danger of uncontrolled emotion is that it narrows your vision. Anger blinds you to strategy, fear blinds you to opportunity, desire blinds you to risk. A disciplined mind keeps its eyes clear, while others are clouded by passion. This clarity allows you to see the move that will decide the game, while your opponents are still stumbling in the dark. When others watch you remain calm in the face of insult, patient in the face of delay, and unshaken in the face of threat, they begin to believe that nothing can touch you. And when they believe this, they will begin to act as though it is true. Their hesitation, their second-guessing, their quiet respect, all of it grows from your refusal to let emotion dictate your course. A word once spoken is a stone once thrown. You cannot call it back, and you cannot control where it lands. In the affairs of power, speech is a currency more valuable than gold, and the man who spends it carelessly will soon find himself bankrupt. The wise understand that silence is not the absence of speech. It is a weapon, a shield, and a snare. To speak less than you know is to hold more power than you show. When you are silent, you create a vacuum that others will rush to fill. They will speak to impress you, to persuade you, to test you, and in doing so, they will reveal themselves. Every nervous laugh, every over-explained point, every careless confession becomes a thread you can pull when the time comes. Words spill easily from the mouths of the unguarded, but in your silence, you make their words the bricks with which you will build your advantage. Strategic silence is not a passive state. It is active, deliberate, and aimed with precision. You remain quiet not because you have nothing to say, but because you are calculating the perfect moment to say it. Every pause you take forces others to wonder what thoughts are taking shape behind your eyes. That wondering turns to unease, and unease turns to caution. This is how silence begins to command the room. There is a peculiar magic in letting others underestimate you. Speak sparingly, and they may think you slow or uncertain. Let them. The more they misjudge your intelligence, the more dangerous you become. They will reveal plans they would have hidden, grant you opportunities they would have denied, all because they failed to grasp the depth of the mind behind the quiet. Then, when you finally choose to speak, your words will strike like a blade drawn in the dark, unexpected, precise, and impossible to ignore. You must also understand that silence magnifies the weight of your words. If you speak constantly, your voice becomes background noise, but if you speak rarely, people will lean forward when you do. They will measure your words carefully, searching for meaning even in the smallest phrase. This gives you the ability to plant ideas like seeds, ideas that grow in the minds of others long after you have left the room. Consider the councils of rulers, where lesser men argue and shout over each other to display their importance. The one who sits back, who listens without interruption, draws the attention of all without demanding it. His silence makes others wonder if he is agreeing, judging, or plotting. That uncertainty forces them to treat him with care. And when at last he does speak, his voice cuts through the noise and becomes the center of the discussion. Silence also shields you from the traps of the careless tongue. The man who speaks too quickly gives away his position. Before the battle has even begun, he reveals his intentions, his fears, and his desires without realizing it. The silent man, on the other hand, reveals nothing he does not wish to reveal. He can watch others maneuver and commit themselves while keeping his own counsel. By the time his plans are visible, it is already too late for his enemies to counter them. There is another advantage to strategic silence. It forces others to confront themselves. Many cannot bear the weight of unbroken quiet. It unnerves them. They begin to speak just to fill the void, offering apologies not asked for, clarifications not needed, and secrets never sought. Their discomfort becomes your opportunity. By saying nothing, you make them say too much. Even in negotiation, silence is a master's tool. State your terms and then wait. The impatient will rush to respond, often granting concessions simply to end the tension. The disciplined will hold their ground, but even they will feel the strain. And all the while, you remain composed, knowing that the longer they talk, the more ground they lose without realizing it. The power of strategic silence lies in the control it grants over the flow of any interaction. It allows you to dictate the pace, to draw information from others, without revealing your own position, to heighten the value of your words by making them rare, and to command respect without raising your voice. In a world where most men seek to be heard above all else, the one who masters silence stands apart, untouchable and dangerous. Mercy, when shown to the wrong person, is a blade turned against yourself. In the realm of power, there are moments when hesitation is a luxury you cannot afford, and kindness becomes the very rope by which others will hang you. To build a mind so strong it terrifies others, you must learn the art of calculated ruthlessness. Not cruelty for its own sake, but the precise and unflinching execution of decisions that secure your position. Calculated ruthlessness is not born from rage, it is born from clarity. It is the recognition that sentiment, hesitation, or a misplaced sense of honor can undo in a moment what took years to build. The one who hesitates in a critical moment allows his rival the space to strike first. The one who acts with precision and speed leaves no such opportunity. Ruthlessness, when calculated, is the ability to act with finality, even when the action weighs heavy on the heart. In the courts of princes and the halls of power, you will be tested. There will be those who mistake patience for weakness, compassion for naivety. They will press against your boundaries, taking as much as you allow, probing to see how far you can be pushed before you push back. If you allow this probing to continue unchecked, you will find yourself surrounded by wolves who believe you will never bite. The mind that terrifies others is the mind that shows, when necessary, that it will bite, and bite to kill. Ruthlessness, however, is not chaos. It must be deliberate, never reckless. A reckless strike may harm your enemies, but it can also wound your own standing. Calculated ruthlessness ensures that every act serves a clear purpose, strengthens your position, and leaves no room for retaliation. This is why you must strike only when the moment is ripe, when your enemy is exposed, when the witnesses are ready to be convinced, when the lesson will be remembered by all who see it. Understand this: in power, examples are more valuable than punishments. If one man challenges you, and you remove him decisively, you are not simply ending his challenge. You are sending a message to all others who may have been tempted to test you. The swiftness and certainty of your action will echo louder than any words. Those who might have opposed you will think twice, knowing that you do not waste time in sentiment when the preservation of your power is at stake. Calculated ruthlessness also demands an absence of guilt. Guilt is a chain around the neck of the ruler, dragging him back toward weakness. You must act with the understanding that power is not maintained by pleasing everyone. It is maintained by ensuring that those who threaten you cannot do so twice. The world will often cloak weakness in the language of virtue, calling inaction, compassion, and indecision fairness. Do not be deceived. True fairness lies in securing your reign, so that those who depend on you are not devoured by the chaos that would follow your fall. There will be times when you must cut ties with an ally who has become a liability, or remove a servant who has grown too ambitious, or crush an uprising before it takes root. In each of these cases, you must act without warning and without apology. To delay is to invite doubt, to explain yourself is to weaken your stance. A decisive act leaves no room for debate, only acceptance. And in acceptance lies your continued control. Calculated ruthlessness also serves as a deterrent. Just as a fortress's high walls discourage the casual invader, your reputation for swift and certain action will deter challenges before they begin. When people believe that crossing you will lead to their ruin, they will seek other paths. This deterrence saves you from countless conflicts you will never have to fight, for your enemies will defeat themselves in their hesitation. You must also understand that calculated ruthlessness is not about unnecessary cruelty. It is about efficiency. The act should be as sharp and clean as a surgeon's cut, precisely targeted, removing only what threatens the whole. Indiscriminate violence breeds rebellion. Focused action breeds stability. You are not seeking to destroy for the sake of destruction, but to preserve through elimination. Every move must be justified in the ledger of power, with no wasted motion and no needless casualties. In this way, ruthlessness becomes a form of mercy to those you lead. For when your enemies are swiftly removed, your allies can live under the protection of your unshaken authority. Chaos is the true cruelty, and indecision the true betrayal. By acting without hesitation when the moment demands, you preserve order, secure loyalty, and maintain the fear that keeps your enemies at bay. Strength of mind is not the gift of birth. It is the product of design, discipline, and relentless shaping. You have learned the 4 pillars: to command perception so others see only the image you choose, to master your emotions so no one may command you, to wield silence as both shield and sword, and to act with calculated ruthlessness when the moment demands. Together, these form a mind that does not merely survive in the arena of power, it dominates it. Such a mind is a storm contained within a fortress, admired by allies, dreaded by enemies, and never truly understood by either. Build it well, and you will not need to chase power. Power will come to you, trembling.